also we are going to be talking about the Champions League and also the weekend's future. These and many more will come after this short break. Don't go nowhere.
Thank you for staying tuned, and you're welcome back. And if you're just joining us, this is the Sports Hour Show. So we begin with the very first story of the day, which has to do with the 2021 FIBA AFROBASKET, where the champion, that is our own darling, the Tigress, will begin their title defense against Mozambique on Saturday. Now the Tigress are already underway, or rather they're already in Yaoundé, Cameroon, and they will kickstart their title defense of our Tigress, being the African champions, and of course, you know their pedigree on the African continent.
No doubt about it. 2 times. 1919,
and they're four times champion,
of course.
2003 and then 2005 thereabouts.
So it shows that when it comes to basketball, when it comes to female basketball in Africa, the Nigerian
Tigers, most titles.
Of course, we have the most titles. Even looking at the rankings in Africa, we are, in the world generally, we are #1 in Africa. We're about 8 in the world. Thereabout, we went to the World Cup. We finished in the quarterfinal stage. Sadly, we went to the just concluded the Olympic Games. We couldn't win any match. But
no, let's not talk about the Olympics. No, it was not funny for both the male and the female teams. Yes, and that was the first time that Nigeria be going to Olympics with both the male and the female team.
That's the first time an African team.
Yes, an African team actually.
Just the country that will be going with the male and the female team. It shows that there is it shows that there is a new dawn when it comes to basketball in Nigeria. We just have to keep that momentum going forward. I don't see nothing hindering the Tigress from going out to action to defend that title and to win the title back to back for 3 times. They have what it takes to go. The coach Otis, he has actually released his 30 women list for that particular tournament, and the girls are already in Yaoundé, getting to familiarize with the weather and also with the facilities there. So hopefully by the time they play against Mozambique should not be. It should be a one-way traffic.
Because there's anyway, games are not played, sport are not played by big names, of course by talents. But then if you look at the Mozambique team, they do not have the kind of names, the big names that we have. We have our players who play in the the NBA, women NBA and everything. So we have good. We have champions in our midst. So, like you said now, we do expect the Mozambique to throw that challenge, but anything can happen.
No doubt about it. Upsets can happen,
yes.
So they don't
That's the beauty of, for upset to occur in sport. But then, as it stands right now, Nigeria, they are heavyweights on paper and on the pitch, or the courts. So we should expect them to override Mozambique. Just the way the Americans, override us easily.
Of course.
So we should be able to do the same thing to our African sisters as well. So.
Thankfully, the Nigerian US-based athlete talking about ENYIMBA'S, she was not allowed to represent the country in the Olympics, but at this point in time,
that's the women NBA stars are around.
We now have her to play in the Afro-basketball, so it's going to be a whole lot of fireworks. We should expect them to go ahead and a massive victory against Mozambique going forward. Okay, we're still talking. Okay, next story where AISHA BUHARI's Cup actually started yesterday, and the Super Falcons started a campaign on the front foot by actually winning the female Eagles of Mali 2-0. That actually was the final score at the Johnson Mobolaji Arena in Lagos yesterday. The match was being watched by the Lagos State Governor, talking about Sanwo-Olu, also the FIFA president, talking about Ghana. Infantino was right there,
and the CAF president,
the stadium. The CAF president also Pratik Mosepe was also in the stadium with the likes of the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Amoju Pinnick, and a host of other. It was a beautiful game. Was it a beautiful game? I felt
Yeah, I watched some of the minutes on the NFF TV live.
The Super Falcons are beginning to have tired legs. I feel it's high time we should have young players getting to replace those girls.
Yes, though the 2 goals came in very late by Monday Gift. She gifted.
Plays for Raymond Stars.
Yeah, and the goal came in. I think towards the end of the game.
83rd
and 89th minute or thereabouts. But then the captain, talking about Asisat Oshola, she was not in that game yesterday.
Of course, she was not clinical.
Yes, but even though she gave an assist,
she gave the 2 assists.
Yes, she gave that. Yes, but then she was not. She had clear chances to score goals. She and the goalkeeper, but she fluffed her lines and everything. But the first half was not very interesting per se. But I think the second half, maybe because they tried to get into the game and everything, so that's why it became more interesting towards the end of the match, and able to get the 2 goals against the female Eagles. That is very funny, female Eagles.
About Eagles of Mali. But looking at the last night we even played the female Eagles of Mali, we won them 8-0 in 2015.
Wait, were you expecting them to for us to do?
And we're struggling with the same team is struggling with just 2 goals. No, it shows that other teams are beginning to catch up with the Super Falcons.
Yes, that's just the beauty of it. That's just the beauty of it.
Randy Waldrum need to actually watch it. The World Cup qualifiers will start any moment from now, and also the Nations Cup. So you should actually watch it. You should not just go and sit down and say because we are the defending champions.
Yes, I agree with you.
It is going to be a one-way traffic for the Super Falcons.
Of course, you expect other teams now to catch up with the Super Falcons. The Super Falcons have been a dominant force when it comes to African women football. They've dominated that stage for too long. And of course, all African countries are really they feel intimidated. They feel that they need to break that shackle, and end the dominance of the Super Falcons on African stage. So I'm not surprised when I see the teams like female Eagles of course trying to put their weight against Eagles and Falcons. Which one is stronger? both fly their beds. The Falcons are a very strong bed as well. So also Eagles too. But we are the super. Why did that the female so Eagles. Super Falcons? I mean, it shows that we should be able to pull our weight against Mali.
But going forward, the Super Falcons will actually be playing South Africa in their next game on Thursday.
And that's going to be a very tough one.
It's going to be a tough one,
yes,
because we know South Africans are very, very good at the young side. We saw them playing in the finals of the Women's Nations Cup.
That's today.
It was just no. We saw them playing together. I've been talking about the Super Falcons and South Africa. We saw them playing in the finals of the Women's Nations Cup, and the Super Falcons won that particular match by just a long goal. So it's going to be a cracker in that particular one. So action will actually continue today. We'll see Cameroon getting to play the likes of South Africa in that particular match.
Okay, so leaving football, let's go to a game now that is gaining so much momentum in Nigeria. Actually, talking about basketball. After 4 years in the wilderness, the league finally resumed. Almost 4 years anyway. The league resumed, and KANO Pillars, of course, not the football aspect, but KANO Pillars, a basketball team as well too. They've been match champions of the SAVANNAH Conference. Now, the SAVANNAH Conference is basically for the clubs in the northern region of the country, where we have the
Nigerian Customs,
Atlantic
Conference
in the southwest side. So this the winners of the SAVANNAH Conference, of course, will meet with the winners of the Atlantic Conference to get the final champion. But anyway, in this particular KANO Pillars, of course, they're able to put their weight against clubs like
Customs, Raptors,
a whole lot of other clubs, and they're able to emerge champions.
Boko Chiefs.
Yes, and it happened at the package B of the
Gombe Bull also was in that mix.
For them to even defeat Gombe Bulls, it's a miracle.
Of course, we know KANO Pillars are well experienced side. They have a whole lot of players who have played for the national team in that particular one. There's a certain player, Mohammed, if I can get his name correctly now, he has captained the Tigers for a very long time. So he shows that
aged.
Of course, he's around 40-something and he's still playing. He's still matching up with the pace of the young guys in that.
That's what I said. Gombe Bulls now, they have a young side, they're a young side, and they're enterprising side. So I was thinking, I was believing that they will use their youthfulness.
Yes. Of course, experience will always count for you in that particular one. The likes of Yakubu, he has been playing for the national team, so they have a whole lot of lot of experience. We saw the game against Custom. It was a photo finish. It was fight to the end of the game. It was just about 3 points, 1 point separating the both sides in that particular one against Custom. So
that was the last weekend.
Yes, that was on Saturday.
Yes,
so it shows that the competitiveness is there. What we just need is just that they need more support. Sponsors need to actually come in at this point in time for us to actually develop the league than what we used to see in the past.
The beauty of all this thing is that we see football as a king of sports, but then we're now seeing the emergence of other sports coming in. Volleyball, handball. We are seeing
consistent over the years.
And that's just the bright spots of Nigerian sports generally.
Of course, away from basketball, we head straight to football, where there's more cheering news. If we can actually say at this point in time,
would you say it's cheering news?
The league management company of the NPFL, talking about the Nigerian Professional Football League, have announced BETOJA that they have actually sealed a
that's my problem.
Multinational sponsorship deal.
For many years.
The NPFL starts 2021 to 2022 season.
How many years?
How many years? We don't know what the deals entails. We don't know. It's scheduled in secrecy. We keep saying we want our football to develop, and at this point in time, BETOJA is coming in as the lead sponsor.
So many things. It's a good one on paper. It's good that at least they are trying to partner, but not as title sponsor, but as betting partner for the NPFL. So it's not as if we will see BETOJA NPFL. No, it's still going to be NPFL.
It's still going to be NPFL.
But of course, as a betting partner for. And of course, when this deal was signed, there were accusations and counter-accusations because the owner of BETOJA is the owner of Remo Stars Football Club. And Remo Stars just got promoted to the some people are saying that the Super 8 was arranged basically for Remo Stars
for them to emerge to promote
to get promoted to the to the NPFL, to the Premier League. But then as this acquisition is coming up, some people are saying of course that BETOJA is separate from Remo Stars, but you cannot separate BETOJA from the owner of Remo Stars.
Of course, no doubt about it, because even in the Super, in the Super 8 of the NLL, we saw what happened when we went down. Referee being changed after, in match day venue. Some referees were even changed 3 times before the match. A club will actually,
of course, was the culprit.
Of course, a club will actually cry foul that this referee is not supposed to officiate this match. There is a whole lot when it comes to the NLL, and we are actually calling the most important league in Nigeria, in the country. So at this point in time, we are not really serious. We are not really getting it when it comes to
because this deal now is a fine deal, but like you said earlier, we don't know the number of years. You just said multi-year sponsorship.
Of course,
the multi-year can be 5 years, can be 10 years, can be 1 year, can be 2 years. We do not have an idea.
Even in monitoring games,
and how much is involved. But let's thankfully for NFF now, in the last few deals they had with MTN, APs, at least we are able to save some amount of money. Yes.
But some people will tell you maybe just a plot to actually bring back the leadership of the NFF back to its seat, because
politics. I wired politics.
Why is all the sponsorship deals? Why are they coming at this point in time?
Towards the election.
Towards the election.
But there's no election for NFF right now.
It's next year.
Yes, next year.
Next year.
But of course, that's next year. But then, yes, you might be right when you talk about that. But that's I wired the politics going on in Nigerian football. And we do not know because we are not in the caucus. And it's very, very difficult for someone to get such information because it is top secret.
It's above your pay grade.
Top secret. To get such information out, you really have to be part of the cabal. And you and I are not part of the cabal per se, except somebody leaks information. But then, but let's give a good one to the LMC. That's the league management company led by Shildiko for this deal as well. So even though we don't know what it entails. per se, but we just hope that this deal will open up a new session, a new vista for Nigerian league, you know, basically, and of course promote our league beyond where it is right now.
We'll go straight to the next story. We're talking about athletics, where Blessing OKAGBARE has, lose her appeal. At this point in time, she will begin 4 years ban over the drugs that she was tested positive.
That's very painful.
We saw that news, coming from
She's
the
just retired.
Games. Of course, she's about 32 at this point in time. So 4 plus 32, that would be like 36, and her career will be all over.
She's just retired.
Just so sad. 4 years ban for the Queen of Africa when it comes to athletics.
Yeah, and before the Olympics, she was the second fastest woman on earth. You know, based on the record, based on the trials they had in Lagos and everything. But of course, she got to the Olympics and she was supposed to run. Then it was discovered that she had used some.
She did. She won her first heat.
Yeah. So it was discovered that she had used some. We will not call it performance enhancing drugs, but more or less like hormone booster drugs and everything. And apparently, she did not know that it was one of the banned substance by the WA.
As an athlete, don't you know that this is?
But then, yes, as an athlete, you should know. But sometimes the federation should be able to give you all the list as well too. You know, if the federation are up to date, they should be able to get that. Okay, so drugs. You know, like now you and I, everybody, we take a paracetamol. Probably instead of paracetamol, there's a particular substance that it should not be used. So she could have used a particular drug. Maybe she was sick, but that drug contained a banned substance which she was not aware of. But like they say, ignorance is no excuse.
Of course, in the face of law.
In the face of law. So whoever is a nutritionist or a medical personnel, whoever should have gotten all these things ready. We cannot see players like Ronaldo or Messi taking some drugs because they know that if they take these drugs, they are banned drugs. You know, top athletes throughout the career of Usain Bolt,
we never heard anything
about it, but I'm sure he was very careful about what he was taking in.
Of course.
And that these drugs, no matter how long you take them, if you take them 3 months earlier, they will still see the traces of no matter how fit it is. So we need to be careful. It's just a shame that she lost her appeal. And if she had just done the needful, you know, they said, according to a report, that if she had not appealed, probably should have only gone for 2 year ban. But for the fact that she went for appeal, you say, okay, you're trying to prove us, you are trying to tell us that we are wrong. I'll be okay.
4 years ban.
Bam.
So just so bad. She's about 32 at this point in time.
They're about 33.
So 4 plus her age, she'll be like 37. So
she just
at this point in time, it is all over.
She has made a mark on the stage. You know, she has won laurels for Nigeria.
Same thing happened at the tail end of this woman, advisor to the president.
Mary.
You know. The same thing is happening to our own.
Our career will end with a ban over a drug. So that's painful, but then we move, as we say.
Of course.
Okay, so leaving athletics, let's go back again to football, where one-time Super Eagles captain and goalkeeper, talking about ENYIMBA'S, he has backed one of his successors, that's Ahmed Musa, to earn 140 Eagles cap. Musa right now is on 98 caps for Nigeria, and of course, there were errors that he had 100 caps, but the 2 games were not recognized by FIFA and everything. He gone back to 98, and he's just 29 years. Okay, and if his career if he plays till like 35 thereabouts, he should be able to beat the 130 mark.
Will he have that? Will he have that tenacity? Will he have that pace for him to play up?
Of course, he's started off going to the Nations Cup if he has no injury.
Of course, he was going to go to the Nations
and
Cup.
Almost that's let's say give or take 3 games already, because group stage we are not sure where. So 3 games, and of course we still have
World Cup qualifiers.
We still have World Cup qualifiers, you know. So technically, he still has about 12 games to go to play for Nigeria. Before the Nations Cup proper, and even Nations Cup itself, and it might still go to the World Cup.
Of course, he will go to his
World Cup. He will go World Cup. So
that might be his last World Cup.
So he might still go for 2 AFCON Nations Cup.
Of course.
Yes, and 1 World Cup. So if you go to the Nations Cup, that's almost 12 games already for him
And again, qualifiers for the Nations Cup.
Yeah,
again.
so it might beat. So let's say he has no injury at all, and he does not lose his form, which we cannot determine. He might beat. He will beat that. He might get that 130 games, 130 cash for Nigeria.
Of course, it's possible for him to actually do that, because for me, he's ageless.
Ageless. 29 years.
29, but you and I know that.
I don't know. I don't know. You know, when he was in Nigeria, before in his first stint with KANO Pillars, he was 17 years old there, and he was hot. You know, was a hot striker and everything.
Of course, let's just leave it there.
And there, at the point, we're thinking that a 17-year-old player, a 17-year-old guy, already breaking into the first team of KANO Pillars. How did he do it? But then, you know. But his passport tells us that he's 29 years, 28, 29 years.
Of course. He still have more 6 years to play for the national team.
It just reminds me of Arenekna. One time I read a report where it said KANO's legs were dead. They're flying and they could not lift his legs were completely dead. And that was someone that was claiming he was 30-something years old. But that leg was about someone of 40 years at that point. But then, you know, Nigerian player, I've spoken to some of these players. They say yes, they actually, you know, reduce their ages for, you know, of course, they need to survive.
Of course, they need to survive
and make a living for them.
Of course, if you want to fly your trade abroad now, you'll be like under 25, whereas you're over.
I can't even cut my age now, but all my certificates, everything has my real age there.
Have your age.
So there's no way I can change anything again.
Still talking about football, straight from the news coming from ENYIMBA at this point in time, where I am here to restore ENYIMBA lost pride. This is actually coming from their new head coach, talking about FINIDI, George.
One of the best wingers we had in the Super Eagles.
In the Super Eagles. As you can see on your screen, he was unveiled yesterday.
Champions League winner with Ajax.
That is the club chairman talking about Felix Agu of ENYIMBA, getting to sign, putting pens to paper in that particular one. Do you think it's a good move?
I was about to ask that question as well.
Of course, it's a good move, no doubt about it. He has, he has this experience.
Yes, yes.
He has coached a youth team in Europe.
So this is going to be like his first senior team is going to coach. But of course, you know FINIDI George.
Of course, he has played the game for the game. He's an Ajax legend. He won the Champions League with Ajax, with KANO one code. So he has gotten to Copa del Rey finals with Real Sociedad. You know, he has so many laurels to his credit and everything. And he's of course a serial winner with the Super Eagles when he was still active. You can't talk about Super Eagles without mentioning FINIDI George. And again, he's back to Nigeria, you know, to have this is going to be his first major senior job. And he has said he's going to restore the pride of ENYIMBA. ENYIMBA is the biggest team in Nigeria at this point.
With KANO Pillars as well too. So he says he's going to return them back to the winning ways. Last season ENYIMBA, they were awful, though they just managed, through backroom points
to qualify for the CAF Confederations Cup.
If not, they would not be in Africa right now. But of course, backroom points, politics everywhere. So, and of course, there was no way ENYIMBA will not play in CAF when their chairman is a member of the NFF. Of the
NFF, executive board.
Executive board. So it will be unthinkable. So that's why backroom points. Of course.
Even naturally, we all believe that if any club that wants to actually do Nigerian proud in the continent, it should be ENYIMBA. And this has actually showed in their last games, in their last outing in the continent. The last one they got to the quarterfinal stage, they couldn't move past one. The other team they actually fell from the preliminary. So ENYIMBA now CAF Confederations Cup will now be the main thing for ENYIMBA. I don't even sure
the game against the AFROBASKET is going to be FINIDI's first game. That's a Patrick Vieira's club, so it's going to be his first game, and that's sometimes in October. So yeah, so it's his first game, yes.
So hopefully we should see more, more of our national team, more of our ex-national team,
There are rumors that Amonike is also coming to Nigeria.
Of course, he actually applied for the job in KANO Pillars. At this point in time, KANO Pillars are considering Yusuf, considering Usman Abdullahi, former ENYIMBA, and also Wiki Torres, coach. So is going to be Kaka. Let's get to see the best hand, you know, getting to lead our NPFL club, so that we can able to get the best of, you know, our players, and also the best of our competition, you know, going forward. Away from that, we will head straight to the news coming in from cricket, where the Nigerian, you know, Cricket Federation has donated cricket equipment to Cameroon and Sierra Leone.
We are doing Big Brother Africa now. Nigeria is donating cricket equipment to the fellow African nations, Cameroon. Meanwhile, we should be getting, anyway, we have received so much donation from other countries as well. So it's high time we also reciprocate those gestures back to other countries who do not have such. I know of tennis. We've gotten so much donation even from South Africa as well too, and others.
Badminton,
badminton as well too. So I think it's from China. Is it China or Japan? Japan, yes. They gave us, you know, towards the Olympics games.
There was 80 racket.
Yeah, thereabouts. And these cycling, yes, cycling federation too. They also got from an Italian company. You know, they give them bicycle and everything. So it's also good that Nigeria too should look outward and also do like the big brother that we are in Africa. And then they've donated some equipment to the Cameroon and Sierra Leone Cricket Federation, so which is a good plus for Nigeria. Okay, so let's leave Africa and Nigerian sports generally, and let's go to the US, where one nagging issue probably may be resolved once and for all. But I personally have an issue with this story I'm going to talk about, which has to do with U.S. female team advocating for equal pay with their with the male team. Now the U.S. Federation has offered them identical, in quote, identical contracts, in quote, you know, that will pay both the male and female team. But now the question is, how much revenue is the female team generating that for them to be fighting for equal pay with the men? We know the men, they get the revenue coming in for men's football cannot be compared to what the female teams are generating. So why are they fighting for equal pay? It cannot just work like that. Because one...
Okay, let's just start. Compare the number of laureates that
they have won. Yes, the U.S. female team, they've won so much laureates. Even Nigeria Super Falcons, 8 times champion of AFCON. Why the Super Eagles are 3 times champion, and 7 times third place.
Syria third place winner.
Third place winner. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, because based on the laurels, they should have gotten so much money and everything. But then, football is business. Football is business. Let's not attach any sentiment or any form of whatever it is. It is purely business. The male team is generating so much money. The male soccer is generating so much money. Okay, let's say now the male team now generates about, let's say, 100 billion naira now, and a female team generates 1 billion. How would they expect you now to pay the female team the same money they pay a team that's generating over $1 billion for a team that's generating $1 billion? It cannot work. It's just like, for example, now you have a private firm now.
I get a point.
You have a private firm. We do not pay because Access Bank is paying their staff 250,000 per month, and you want to be on the same level as Access Bank. You're paying. You run down.
But mind you, they are actually not representing their country. If the female also want to represent their country, it's still the national. How many females?
Even the females are talking about, even the women themselves. How many of them even watch female football?
How many of them watch female football?
Even the females themselves, normal females. How many of them even
No, don't say that. People are beginning to like.
No, I'm not saying.
To like
I'm
the
not
game.
saying. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're not watching. But can you compare the audience?
The followership. Of course, no doubt about it.
The female, if you call any female now, if I call our producer now to mention one female, one Super Eagles female,
one Super Falcons female,
one Falcons, she will not mention.
Of course.
But
no doubt
if
about
I ask her now to tell me about Super Eagles, she will mention some names. That's to tell the audience and the followership of the male. Okay. They are modeling. We have female models and we have male models. The female models earn more money than the male models because that's the selling point.
Yes.
So why? But the men are not asking for equal pay as models with the females because they know that the females they dominate the
modeling industry. So, but no doubt about it. If you're going to debate on this, we're not going to live here. But for me, it's a high time. Even though it's not 100, let's just put it at
they can increase the money
100 to 70, 100 to 80.
They can increase how much they're paying them.
But not you giving them the ratio of 100 to like 40. It doesn't.
No, it can increase their money, but be on the same level. It cannot work.
Of course, sir.
Because you're paying a footballer. Okay, now. We know Messi or Ronaldo, they earn close to about £250,000 or £300, sorry, £500 per week. So we not pay Mata, the best female footballer now, that same amount of money.
Of course, no.
It can't. Their club will run down. How much sales is she making from her shirt? What's the price of her right as a player? And all of those things. So all these things come into factor, and we need to. They need to, I'm in support of them increasing what they pay there, but for them to get it paid, they need to generate more money for themselves as well. I'm a self-sufficient like the main football team. Of course. I mean, like the main football, soccer, or football, whichever way. Okay, and we are still talking about US part as well too, but then US gymnasts, they've slammed FBI and sport officials over NASSAR's abuse. Gymnast in the US, and of course, she has been accusing a former team doctor of sexually abusing her. Now, this girl, she was in
go on with the game.
Go on with the game because of mental.
Simon Bliss.
Yes, Simon Miles. I mean, so she was mentally disturbed and everything because of an alleged sexual abuse from a former team doctor. So then, of course, this issue has come up again, and it's generating so much furor in the US, whereby the FBI have been called into action, as well as sport officials, to come and defend or counter the accusation from this gymnast.
Of course, so many news actually coming from the US angle at this point in time. Just so sad for her. But away from that, we head straight to tennis, where Andy Murray is out of the Rennes Open. He will not be going further with that particular competition. Away from that, we head straight to the Champions League, because the return of the Champions to live on our screen this Tuesday, just passed about 2 days ago, and some mouth-watering clash, and also some unbelievable results that we saw that actually went down on Tuesday. Looking at the result, Young Boys actually defeated Manchester United.
according to an English, I'm not that I said it to. According to an English tabloid, you know how the English press, how they do that one thing. Young Boys 2, Stupid Boys 1. I saw the picture and I was just laughing because they felt that with the pedigree of
Manchester United,
that they should not. And this was the club they defeated last season. I think 8-0 thereabouts, or 6-0. Last Champions League. But then, even with the arrival of one man called Cristiano Ronaldo, who scored their first goal anyway. But then the Stupid Boys, according to the English tabloid, they messed up and they be calling for the head of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of
course, they were actually playing 10 man, one man down in that particular one. It was at the tail end of the match that they actually considered that 2 goals, so it was just so painful.
Yes, almost like 9 something.
Yes, they felt they should have actually run away with the point away from that match venue to England.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka was careless with his
of course, with his back pass.
Yes, and
then Lingard. Lingard was actually the clearest with that pass, and the guy just have to convert it from a very close range. Looking at Salzburg 1-1, they draw against Sevilla. Barcelona also, they are now the new Arsenal in the Champions League. They were defeated, they were beaten, they were trashed by Bayern Munich 3-0 at the Camp Nou. Did you actually see that coming?
I did not see that coming. I was expecting at least probably, in the last few years, we have seen Bayern Munich always defeating Barcelona.
The last time was 8-2.
8-2, massive disgrace. And of course, ageless Thomas Müller and Robert Lewandowski. Of course, they were on point. They had the goals and everything. And Barcelona had no answer to at all. They were out of their depth and everything. It was unbelievable that,
Can we say the Messi factor is not working for them?
Even when Messi was there,
they still consider
they consider its goals and everything. So it's not about a particular person, it's about the mentality in that team right now. And I wonder if that coach will last.
Of course, Coach Donald Koeman, at this point in time, the management of the Barcelona, they came out, last weekend saying they have confidence in him. They want to extend
anytime a club comes out
say they want to extend your contract,
they are backing a particular coach. Trust me,
the coach is about to be thrown out.
It's a series. It's just what they do. No, we are in support. He's doing a good job, but trust me, in 1 month, 2 months time, he's out of the job.
Of course, Dynamo Kiev played the 0-0 draw with Benfica. Villarreal played the 2-2 draw against Atlanta. Lille played 0-0 with Wolfsburg. Chelsea, with their new talisman, talking about Romelu Lukaku, actually getting how to score that long goal.
Most at the diamond.
Also in that particular game. 1-0, they were actually win against St. Petersburg, while Milano suffered a 3-0 defeat in the hands of Juventus in that particular one.
Then yesterday as well too, we saw Messi, of course, making his debut for PSG in the Champions League, but he was unable to lead his team to victory as he shared points with Club Brugge 1-1. Of course, the biggest win was yesterday was Man City against RB Leipzig 6-3, and we saw their new boy, talking about Jack Grealish, scoring his goal and of course creating an assist. It's like the combination between Jack Grealish and Kevin De Bruyne is devastating.
Of course,
the collabo is going to, they're going to torment
clubs. This is EPL clubs.
Yes, and AC Milan returned back to Champions League for the first time in so many years, and of course their return was destroyed. Their return was, hampered, shattered by a vicious Liverpool as they left Anfield with a 3-2 defeat.
If you look at both teams, they have about 13 trophies, Champions League trophy.
Yeah.
Liverpool has won like 6. AC Milan has won like 7. So it shows that it was, a match of the champions.
Yes, champions.
You saw, our players in the field yesterday talking about the likes of Manzini was in the pitch, watching AC Milan.
No, remember 2003 edition, and of course when Steven Gerrard, of course, Captain Fantastic did the job. So yesterday as well, Atletico Madrid were unable to get a win against a 10-man FC Porto as the game ended 0-0. And Borussia Dortmund, one man who will not stop scoring, Erling Haaland.
Of course.
Erling Haaland. This boy is most likely, if by God's grace, I'm praying for that he will not get injured at all. And he will be really from. This guy might shatter the records of Messi and Ronaldo in the future. At this age, this guy has been he has scored 21 goals in the Champions League in 17 games so far.
Of course,
that is massive.
Banking goals,
21 goals, Champions League goals in 17 games. This guy might break.
Of course, he scored an hat-trick during the international break for Norway. So scoring goals is his hobby at this point in time.
And next season, trust me, or even January, clubs will be looking to buy this guy, And Borussia Dortmund, they're going to be the bride of, they're going to place in some heavy money.
Of course, and Borussia Dortmund, they have this way of, grooming young players and making them big stars. Same thing happened to Lewandowski. He was, in Borussia Dortmund before.
He got to Bayern Munich.
A whole lot of players are actually come out from Borussia Dortmund.
There also we saw Inter Milan against losing at the 89th minute to Real Madrid yesterday night at San Siro Stadium. And Madrid are, of course, led by Carlo Ancelotti, who has put enough faith in the youngsters. As you can see on the screen, that's a Rodrigo, scoring that goal with assist, followed by Camavinga.
Real boys.
they came in as substitutes, and of course they damaged the hopes of.
And this particular, Vega was born 2002, and now he's doing exploit.
Oh, see, now there's the future is so bright for Madrid right now because of these youngsters who are coming in, who are already making waves, already, and it's going to be a very tough one for the senior stars if they don't pick up their games. But these youngsters will take the stage definitely, and we are glad to see Real Madrid, of course, come out to win against Inter. It was a very, very solid game yesterday, and we love to see such games in future.
Of course, looking at the weekend's fixtures that will be actually going on this weekend, is going to be a match, watching weekend. But before we go on the weekend, we have some, some Europa game that will be going ahead tonight.
Is Arsenal playing at all?
Arsenal is not playing. Just forget about it at this point in time. Yeah, not in Europe. Roma will play CSKA Moscow. Reims against Tottenham. Just to mention a few. Slavia against Union Berlin. We're going to be seeing Leicester City
against our own Napoli
against Napoli. So it's Galatasaray will play Lazio. We have Lokomotiv Moscow will play Marseille. We have Midtjylland against Luraget, Betis against Celtic. So
we have a lot of Nigerian players who will be playing this in this Europa League, from Rangers FC to Leicester City to Napoli. So we have a lot of Nigerian players that will play this Europa League this season.
Victor Osimhen has been listed in the Napoli's team to play Leicester, because we know that report came in due to the fact that he went to Cape Verde because of the UK rule.
Yes, on the COVID-19
initially
red zone
they actually said they were not going to allow him to play, but at this point in time he will be allowed to play. So we'll go to the weekend's fixtures.
Okay, so we will leave our viewers with the fixtures, but this is where we draw the curtains for today's program, and I hope you've enjoyed every bit of today's show. So we'll come again same time, station next week. We say enjoy the rest of your day and have a splendid weekend ahead. I am Jide Olushola.
I am Olawale Ayema. Say bye bye for now. God bless.